Hi, I'm back up here in Chelmsford to spend another day on the TR6. I was up here yesterday for a barbecue but ended up tinkering, and as such I managed to clean out all the undersill from one side of the car. Here you can see how far I've got. It was a bit of a tough task using a just any old metal tool that I could find, really, just to sort of get underneath the underseal and scrape it off, just almost back down to the original primer. There is a bit of underseal on here which it doesn't need to be taken back to smooth metal. All I'm looking for was to get a nice uniform surface to go on, something which is sort of fairly smooth. Don't forget, when I put the underseal on, it's sort of 2 to 3 mil thick anyway, so it's going to cover all of this. What I was looking for was anywhere that there may be rust that may need addressing. Places like here, just around here. Now I wouldn't have seen that until the underseal went off, and then you start poking around and then your screwdriver goes through. Also here, and the same here. This is sort of quite a bad one as well. I think it's where the front valance meets the inner wing, so what I'll do is cut out this area here, which is all pretty rotten, and shape in a new plate and weld that all in too. So fair bit of work to do today. Let's see how well I get on. So just use the white brush on this, and so basically what I can see is that this inner wing comes down and ends along that line, and the rust has happened along here between these two pieces. This lower piece, although pitted, is very solid, and what I'll do with that bit is clean it up a bit further, and I'll put some rust converter on that, and that will stay. That's fine. What I'm going to need to do is cut a piece of metal out of here, or cut this away rather, and then weld in a new piece of metal to fold it down to join this original line here, and filling up a couple of holes while I'm at it too. Right, I've just cut out the bad part and cut a piece of metal from the old wing, because I've now got new wings, and shaped it so that it fits in there, and I've got it held in by magnets, and I'm ready to start tacking it in. While I'm at it, I wanted to show you my new welder. My mate who borrowed my welder couldn't repair it, so he insisted on buying me a new one. So I met him at the shop, and I chose a welder. I said, yeah, this will do the trick, but he wasn't happy and wanted to get me a better one than the one that he used from me, which is very, very nice of him. Sort of quite unusual. People don't do that, do they? They just want to save as much money as they can and say, well, your one was old anyway. But no, this guy insisted on buying a really nice one for me, so I'm looking forward to using this on this job. Hi, it's been a while since I've posted up a video, but that doesn't mean to say I haven't been doing things. It's just that sometimes filming gets in the way of doing jobs, and with all the good intention of filming what I'm gonna do, I get involved in doing it, and then just my hands are dirty, I don't want to pick up the camera or God knows what, and sort of just cracking on with it. So apologies for that, but what I will do is show you what I've got up to so far, and there's been quite a good improvement from the last time, or from the last part of this video. So I show you what I've got up to meanwhile, albeit you haven't seen the process of what I've done so far. So looking at the driver's side first, you can see that I've been working on the inner wing, cut out all the rust and patched in with new bits of metal, and then given it a nice grey undersill, ready for painting. And it's actually come out looking really, really tidy, and that will look really nice with a bit of paint on, and I'll show you next what it will look like. Here is the driver's side, and the first thing you're going to notice is that I've changed the colour. I'm getting rid of the saffron, which I don't like. It never looks as nice in real life as it does in the videos, and it's a shame because for some reason it just has a different appeal to it in real life, or no appeal to it in real life. So I've gone for Mimosa, which is a nice bright yellow, and here is underneath here all the suspension's been taken off again. Plates of metal welded in, strengthened up, and I've also wire brushed back the chassis and added some rust converter and given it a coat of paint as well. So that's looking all really tidy now, and it's all ready for the suspension to go on. So here's what I've done for the passenger side. I've taken all the bits home and taken them right back to metal, etch primered them and given them a coat of satin black as well, and made them all look like brand new. I've put all new parts on there, I've got the bleeding name of that, new shocks, new discs, new bushes everywhere. Every bit of rubber has been changed on this now. Cleaned up the whole part of the hub as well. New sway bars, track rod ends, and I've refurbished the brake caliper. Decided to paint them red for no apparent reason, but they've all got all new rubbers inside them now, and same with the spring. Why not make them red as well? I've got new brakes, I've got new gaiters for the steering, brake pipes, loads of stuff. So today's project is to actually get this stuff fitted, if I can get this all on today for one side, which, because this side is all sprayed up and cleaned up, once I put that lot on there it'll look really good. So that's my plan today, and that will sort of spur me on to get on and do the other side. And once again, here is what we've got on this side, and you know, you can see a lot of surface rust on all of these parts, which do clean up well, but it took me days to do the other side and make them look like they're brand new parts out of the factory. Took days, but well worth it in the end. So hopefully they'll go from this to that. This is how far I've got so far. Managed to put in the two upper arms and the top, forget the name for these things, and the two bottom arms. They're just going to be called these bits for the purposes of this video, and just got to stick this bit in now, but before that goes in I've got to put some gear oil in there and then screw this on, and then I might have, no, that'll do it, yeah, screw that on and then fit that into there, and then that part of it is done. You can see I've placed the spring in. It's only loosely put in at the moment using this big thick threaded rod, which is something I saw on someone else's video they did. I tried to use conventional spring compressors, but there's just not enough room in there for the ones that I bought anyway, so ended up going and buying a bit of threaded rod and doing it with this trick, and it works quite fine. So let's get that bit done next. I'm using a little bit of gear oil. It does say only fill it up by about quarter, 25%. That's a lot more than 25%, but it will just spill out anyway. And then put this on now. I'm not sure which way. One of these is left hand thread and one is right hand thread, so obviously this is the way it is. Oh shit, there's something I did forget. these dust seals. You can see the excess spilling out now. You tighten it right up one way, and then oh, I've still got a bit more, and then slacken it. That's it. So that's where that will stay. Next thing is that one will go up there. Bolt up there. Nice. I will torque all of these afterwards. I've left my socket set at home, but I managed to bring my newly bought torque wrench. Fat lot of good today. I think so. The next job for me to do now is to compress the spring and get this bottom plate put into place. Bit frightening with these springs because there's so much tension in them. It does worry me, but nevertheless, let's get going. Put a pair of mole grips to hold the threaded rod. Got a good nut and a washer there on top, and I'm going to try and tighten it up slowly from underneath. Okay, I've been tightening up for the last 10 minutes and it's almost there. I've only got a little gap left. This thing is under a lot of tension. I mean, it is frightening how much pressure there is on this thing, and it could just launch itself. Just be happy once I've got a couple of bolts in to keep it in place. Get them lined up. Fighting to go too near it. There you go. That's one. Right, this is the end of another day. I didn't complete what I was doing in the previous part of this video. Wound myself up and decided to go home for the day, and I've come back. Basically, I've had a few problems. The spring didn't sit in properly and seat itself on the rubbers properly, and trying to wangle it about, it's ended up not being good. So I had to undo everything and start the whole process all over again. It was only a minor thing really. I mean, I could have got away with it, but I'm that fussy where I want everything to be perfect. If I'm going to do this thing, I want it to be as perfect as I can make it. And if I think that I'm letting something go out of laziness, I'm not going to let it go. That's kind of naughty of me. So as I say, it has been grief, taking everything all apart and redoing it all over again, but knowing that I've done it 100% properly is quite satisfying at the end of the day. So I managed to put on the calipers and some of the ball joints and things like that, which I'll give you a close-up of now to show you how far I've got with this. So yeah, as you can see, I've painted the caliper red, as I said, and the spring to match. Just thought it gave it a nice little look. I know it's not original to sort of factory spec, but some little things I'm going to let go and not try to adhere to the textbook on this, just purely out of just purely for my self-satisfaction really. Looking over this side, I've got new track control arm.
You want this?
Was that a lolly?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Hey camera!
Yeah, I'll have a lolly.
You want a lolly?
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to be disturbed. Yeah, so I've got new track rod in there. I put new sway bar bushings down here. Ball joint up here. I forgot what they call that. There is a, well, it might be just ball joint. I'm trying to learn the names of all these things. New brake pipes and everything, and new gaiter for the steering as well. So I've basically got this left-hand corner all complete, apart from torquing up all the nuts and everything, which I haven't done. I've got to get all the torque settings from a manual and set them all up, but otherwise this corner is completely finished, and now I've got to start on the other corner. This has been hard work, and I suppose a lot of it is to do with not knowing what I'm doing, but doing it on the other side, I've kind of got an experience of it now. It shouldn't take me as long as this side has done, so I'll carry on and do that, and see you on the next video, where hopefully I think I'll be starting on the back.